Cool kids, what it is. So, you ever get a coin in the mail and you want to make sure it's real? This quick Silver University episode is going to show you how to do it. And, yeah, lots of good information here. So, let's get right to it. So, with a few simple tools, you'll be able to, 1, open the package or envelope that your silver has come in. This is my karambit knife. Very nice. First tool you need every time. Now, you want to carefully fill the envelope to locate your hunk of metal. You don't want to stab it with the knife, generally speaking, especially if it's a numismatic piece. This one is a numismatic piece, so. All right, now you're gonna open the envelope. Again, making sure that the coin does not fly out. Hopefully they've got it secured, but never trust the seller to do the right thing, especially on eBay. You'll get some real morons from time to time. Okay, here's our delicious item. Oh boy. Now this item is about twice melt. Why did we pay so much for one coin? Twice melt? That is crazy. I agree, that is indeed insane. So they've also wrapped it inside a lovely piece of paper for extra protection. And in the fall recesses, I was able to finally find the coin. Now, here's our coin. Our coin is in a plastic flip, which, there we go. Now let's really explore the coin. Make sure your hands are clean when handling a coin like this. Handle it by the edges, not here. Right. Let's really explore the space and see what we've got here. All right. All right, there's a little wear on the lion's face, but not a lot. Looks to be a scratch right there, but nothing too major. The coin is very toned, but there are a lot of details. Oh, there's a big old scratch right there. See that? So 2 big scratches on the coin. Not good, but I don't know if it's enough to make it a details coin. I'm not an expert, but there is some toning on it too, and I don't know. Good details on the head and face on this one. It seems to me that there's more than, I don't know if it's more than tuning, maybe corrosion, but I'm not sure. Or maybe not. Try not to drop your camera while you're recording. I would say that the scratches are definitely not optimal, but the coin is 120 3 years old. So, definitely has some little bit of illustriousness to it left. So that's a good sign. But again, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I do know this is a nice example. Guys, can we not bark? Can we not? No. Anyway, now we're going to make sure it's real. So the first thing we want is our resources. There's a couple ways we could go. We could go to numista.com or ngc.com. We'll do a bit of both to kind of show you. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. The Numista listings are much more in depth, but the NGC listings have one key bit of information that you will never get from Numista, which is the ASW. So here we go. 1902 is the year. Shilling is the coin. And as you can see, here's some listings. That one's $99. Here's a really nice example. Let's look at that. It's always good to have a nice example to compare your coin to. Okay, there's the Mint State coin. Mint State 64. Here's our coin. Okay, let's just move randomly. I like that. So you can see we still have a lot of the details, but there is some wear. But it's very light wear. That scratch is unsightly, but all right, good. So I am already pretty sure our coin is legitimate, but what if we still have questions? Well, let's find out. Here's NGC's take on it, and they have an example here. Looks pretty darn close at any rate, huh? So we made 7 million of these. And even at very fine, we're at $20 catalog. So if it were mint state, big money. So if you guys ever get one of these in mint condition, just know they're big money because these coins were heavily used. Coins of the realm. Now the important part here, NGC. NGC gives you the fineness, the weight, and the ASW, which you will not get on Numista. Numista will give you a melt value, but NGC actually stays up to date. I paid $11 even for this coin, which is about double the melt value. Yep, because that would be 1088. So roughly double the melt value. Which, like I said on the chart here, we say we drop it down to very fine, we're still at $20, anything above very good is actually a win on this one. And it's a nice example. I don't like the scratch on the face, but what are you going to do? It's 120 something years old. All right, now. And most of these, when you find them, they're worn out. Like dude's face is barely perceivable. The lion looks shabby as hell, Like this really is a nice coin. But let's make sure it's real. Let's continue our adventure. Now, Numista is good for varieties, stuff like that. Are there different varieties? You also get another look at another example. You can get more particulars. How long did they make them? Is it still used as money? No, they went away from the old system a long time ago, and now they're on their decimalized system. So. The standard weight of these coins is 2/11 troy ounce, 87.3 grains. All right, they talk about some discrepancies in the mintage numbers. We don't have to worry about that because we have a 1902 coin. And again, if it's extra fine, it's worth 26. If it's very fine, it's worth 12. Either way, we're fine. Seller said it was extra fine. So the scratch is sucky, but isn't enough to drop it to details. Well, here's some for sale to give you kind of an idea of what these normally run. Now, our coin is definitely sharper and crisper than that. This one's going for $20, but it's been cleaned. This one's going for £13.95, and it's, worn as hell. This is usually what they come looking like. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open this so you guys can kind of see what an average shilling from that time runs, looks wise. See how worn, beat up old Edward is? See, the details are just gone in his beard, his face, compared to what we got. My goodness. See all that hair and stuff? You ain't gonna see that on a usual. Usually, yeah, it looks like a burn victim most of the time, honestly. And then on the line, you can really see the difference. See that? And this is what they usually come like. If you get an old Edward shilling, it's going to be, he's going to look like a burn victim. All right, now we're going to get to the good stuff. We know the coin's real, we think, but how do we make sure it's real? Well, one of the key bits of information, right, that you're going to glean from these pages are the weight. Ready? Weight of the coin. So here I have a scale. You may have noticed. And we're going to weigh the coin. So the coin should weigh 5.65 grams. Bam. We're on the money. Okay. Now say you don't trust it though. You don't trust that bullshit. You need to make sure. Well, that's where calipers come in. So the diameter of this coin should be 23.5. So set your caliper to 23.5. A little harder to do than. Well, you know what? Right there. There it is. You see that? Perfect. Right on the money. We're right on the money. All right, so now we have double confirmation, but if you wanted to, you could even do the thickness, which is 1.44. You could also take a rare earth magnet and run it down it. I don't recommend that with a numismatic piece simply because it could be very dangerous. I also don't recommend doing the thickness because, one, you got to get to 1.44. That's as close as we can get. And with this set of calipers. But I'm not going to run this anywhere near that coin surface, Like, I'm just going to see if it's close because there's no way. But yeah, it's right on the money. So this coin is legitimate. So our next step is we can put it in here, this crappy holder, or we can put it in a nice holder. And I say, it's a nice coin, nice example. Why not put it in a nice holder like a good little boy? Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I need to buy some more flips because I used them all up on that Canadian lot. But I happened to grab the perfect flip for the coin right off the bat. I wonder how that happened. So this is about the size of a quarter. It's a little. It's like 2/100 of an ounce lighter than a quarter. All right. So it's a lightning ass quarter for all you. I only stack American coins people out here, which I totally understand that. I'd say we did okay. I mean, we didn't kill it on this one, but it's a nice example. Now remember, there's one more step, guys. Well, a couple more steps, real quick. I'm gonna pause it, and then you tell me what the extra step was. And pause. All right, we've completed our silverback. Now, why do I call it a silverback? Well, it's got the denomination, it's got the silver amount on it, and it's in a convenient flip that could easily be used for transactions. So that mystical, magical final step that you may or may not have recognized was, yes, smash the staples. That is the secret sauce. Always smash the staples. There's our coin. Let's really look at the glory of this thing. Now that I can actually move it around. Yeah, not a bad little coin for $11. Is it my best work? No, but occasionally, guys, when the price of silver is high, you switch over a little bit, change the game to numismatics a little bit, maybe. Instead of buying boring bullion rounds, you can buy a numismatic piece that maybe would have cost twice as much if silver wasn't so high, and people weren't going crazy buying that. But it doesn't always happen. I have definitely gotten some numismatic pieces cheap during times when silver was hot. So definitely something to keep in mind. Guys, that concludes Silver University today. I want you to have an amazing day. I want you to find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake. And if you can't find them, don't blame me. I'm trying to show them to you. Thanks for watching.